Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, guys, to new episode. I will have a huge panel of guests today. Yeah, everyone is joining.
What's up?
Yes.
Yes, hello,
Gracias.
hello. This will be really interesting because we will be four of us, and we want to make this as organic conversation. So I think it will be a huge challenge today, but I think we will do that. Why we have this what we have right now? Because some time ago in Dubai, we was having some conversation about how much money we have made and how our that we have made, but how much we have made for our clients with the online sales. And we saw that there is a huge reason for us to start work together. That's why we are building the joint venture right now, and it's a new challenge, new markets building right now. The Dubai and we'll open the new markets I think next year too. Um, what we wanted to talk today, we have, as I already told, generated some tons of money to our clients, and we have this experience, and we have some learnings. What we want to give away and tell you, I would say not even tell you, just to save you some money and some time to not going and testing it by on your own. I had yesterday one pitch for one of the clients, and I told we can do that for you, or you can spend 5 years in building everything, and you will understand the same after this period. So let's go a small introduction why the people need to listen us, who we are, what we do, and then jump to the topic. Learnings from generating 8 figures in online sales. Ralph, I will give the mic to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So, roughly 2 years ago, I moved to Indonesia, Bali, with practically a few $100s in my pocket. And at that point, all I had is a bunch of knowledge in how to operate online businesses because I've been only watching a bunch of videos, putting some stuff in action. But as you know, the beginning is always the toughest. So, I go to Bali and meet a couple of interesting people, and all of a sudden we started to run our own online agency. So only 9 months in, only using manual prospecting, we generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for our business, and that's exactly what we're going to be covering today.
When the first time Ralph told me, I was like, don't bullshit me. With the manual work you did, you made the money, and then we were starting to dig deeper. But this is one of the topics today, so let's not jump on that. JJ, we have two, GG and JJ. Maybe you can give some introduction from your side.
What's up, everyone? JJ here. So, yes, I'm going to actually go a little bit deeper in the backstory of how we started, because there was the rise and then there was the fall where we didn't have any money. We failed, but it started all in 2019, if I'm correct, where in just 50 days, we were able to actually hire 500 freelancers that were doing the manual work for prospecting. And in the first 45 days, we got also an e-commerce brand for the first month to 260,000 only with just manual prospecting. So that's about that.
Yeah, just numbers, just the revenue. That's a really good pitch, JJ. Yanis, maybe we need to repeat again who we are and why they need to listen to us.
Okay, my name is Yanis, and I'm the co-owner, co-founder, co-person with Gustavs that operates eCOMHUB agency, where we make our clients tons of money, hundreds of thousands a week, and I operate the team, and now Gustavs.
Yanis is the best reason why I can enjoy my work more, because I can focus on the things I really love. So Yanis is on the operations part. I'm on I would say the last thing I decided I will be the chief marketing officer, and let's try to build it from that side. It's the same for me. If JJ told that his experience was in the numbers, I will tell the same. In 2017, I built from 4,000 euro in a month to 200 plus thousand euro in a month. Maybe not in a month, but at least 1 year. One Latvian e-commerce brand, And if we talked that in Latvia, there's like several e-commerce brands which do hundreds of thousands a month, and that was a huge story. And after that started all the road. So okay, let's get to the topic back. We before that we was communicating about this topic, and there was 4 blocks or 4 things we want to discuss today. The one is the marketing materials, then there is the sales channels, then there is operations, and then there is optimization. And as you already heard, we are experts in every field of this 4 blocks, and that's why we have some things what you can implement from this live, I hope. Okay, let's go through them. Let's talk about the numbers. I think that's the first thing what we need to start. Guys, how much costs the team? How much costs a full team what can run your business in e-commerce field or in online sales field?
Starting from low end, starting from 30,000, and like that's a low end team with not so much experience and was stacked with juniors. But when you go up in like higher professional field, then it's around 50 to 60K a month that you will be looking at to run such a team in your in-house.
That was the first moment when I understood to make team like this, you need to have a brand with millions of sales in a month. And I think that the most topic here is that okay, let's cover a little bit more. There is a huge thing right now in the e-commerce in the marketing field that what is really important is the marketing egos, and the guys in your team is more junior than bigger egos they have. Maybe you can Yanis talk about the solid team, how we can achieve this moment when we not work from the ego side, but we work from side which is about the numbers, about the results, about the click-through rates, about those things.
Yeah, from ego standpoint, I think one of the biggest problems is that people still try to use previous knowledge that they accumulated over the last 3 years or 2 years, but not really like following up on the new things that are happening and what's really is what's going on. What do you need for e-commerce or for ads or for any marketing channel or for your e-commerce to be successful? They don't really do the knowledge information again, like the learning stuff, all because they don't really have the time for that. And that's one of the points, is that most of those people are actually doing a lot of stuff what other people should be doing. So basically, marketing director is, hey, if he thinks about what type of ads need to be created, then he also plans out the campaign, then he plans out the email marketing. Basically, all these marketing or big ego people do is they have full control of everything. And if you have full control of everything,
they do it all on themselves, and that's a big thing. And that's a place where they make everything difficult, I think.
And that's the thing why they have this big ego, in terms of without what I'm currently doing now, nothing would work. So yeah, Kremers, JJ.
Oh yes, definitely can relate with that. Have seen that, been there, and etc. But the mindset that we have to really put here on the table and embrace for the team and also for the leaders itself is that simple scales and fancy fails. Everyone has their jobs, their departments that they have to focus on. And I think once you embrace this principle, simple scales and fancy fails, your team starts work like a Conway, where everyone is becoming a beast in their field. And then they have, for example, specific metrics that they are communicating to the team. So everything is actually organized and runs smoothly. When you also apply the simple scales, fancy fails, there's one really interesting thing. What happens in the team is that you cut out the noise. Everyone focuses on what they have to focus. So the team starts think more clearly. They start performing more effectively. the team becomes more like a symphony, like an orchestra. And your business itself just is able to perform more clearly and more effectively in the battlefield of business. So that's a big advantage.
That's understood, but sometimes they don't have the team.
Yeah.
I think they don't have a time to sit down and understand. Okay, emails make me money. This makes me money. This makes me money. Like, I will be honest. When I was running my first brand, I was after 9 months, and after 9 months, I understood that the thing what makes me money is creating new ads, and I have done zero in this field for the first, I don't know, months, and I understood. Okay, what exactly makes you money, which thing is making you money, and then what Yanis told, split those responsibilities in these fields and put those targets in every of this field, and then you can then you work about then it's simple, because is that made us money or did it didn't, and that's all what you are asking in the end of the day, because you don't need to enjoy all your work, you need to enjoy your work and some time free without the work.
Exactly.
Well, more often or not, there are spots when we have to find out who's going to be the person doing all the other things, right? Like, I think a lot of this, what we're talking about right now, starts with a leadership and what JJ just said. What is going on in a team, right? Because if the people who have those egoistic perspectives and they're only chasing money, it's not actually a bad thing if we just use it in the right way, and if we actually if we create an environment for them to exploit that thing that they have inside of themselves. I've seen that working out crazy. For example, when we had hundreds of freelancers in our team, there were a few people who really stood up and they created their micro environments in our communities. And what ended up happening is these people turned into leaders, and they were employing their own people underneath them. And you see that what happened there was they just had this egoistic feeling at the first place that they can do it, and then it turned into something much more beautiful, which is they learned how to basically utilize their skills, and we always as well gave them the opportunity to do so. So in my opinion, it's a great ass thing to have. If we can have those people and if we know how to make the most out of them, it's a banger.
Yeah, but that's about everything. I think from leader side, there's only one rule for you: find what those people want and give this possibility to achieve them. And if they want something else, what your business want, or what your product want, or what you want with achieve with your business, then you just say, oh, okay, guys, sorry, we can't find you the place here. So, yeah.
Yes.
Let's jump maybe to. I know that, Ralph, you have some story about some businesses where you have get the good results with a zero ad spend. Maybe you can tell, because that's for us where we are spending tons of money in ads. It's something like, I don't understand. Maybe you can share this story. That was a good one.
Sure. So how it all started was the thing that I love the most is talking to people. I'm very, very much of an outgoing guy, right? So how it all started was me and JJ, when we moved to Indonesia, we are trying to get something work. And as I said, we had practically no finances at that time, right? So we had to figure out a plan, how we're going to acquire clients for our high ticket offers with zero money on ads. And once you're put in that position, it's like, you're thrown out of a street and you have to figure out how you're going to survive. So what we started to do was we started to split test thousands of different variations, how scripts can go. We plugged it all in a chatbot. We were looking at the data, seeing what openers worked for what industries, where we want to go. Because at that time, we have a lot of knowledge, but we don't have enough resources to kind of create something big out of it, right? And so after doing thousands of different variation tests, we found some sort of like a framework that we can approach people with, and that's going to have guaranteed 15% response rate in any industry. And this is the beautiful framework that we use even right now that generates up to 200 consultation calls for our business every single month, right? So yeah, with this same framework, we have acquired some of your favorite fitness influencers, and it's been a really crazy ass year this year for sure. Yeah.
This is so I understand clearly. You found out how to get clients for you, and after that, you was using the same system to those clients too. Maybe
Yes.
you can tweak a little bit what's happening there, because the people want to know. Okay, I'm in the same situation. I don't have a budget. I want to get clients to get some budget to invest maybe on some ads part. Maybe you can give some tweaks. What should be done, like 2 3 things, so they can get on the same results.
Okay, I'll give you one thing. And by the way, this one thing, if you're gonna listen to what I'm gonna say right now, and if you're really gonna try to figure out, because I'm not gonna give you the entire cake, I'll just give you a slice of the pizza. All right. So what you need to do is take an industry, let's say fitness, because fitness was where we actually went the hardest in and where we acquired over 100 clients this year. So what we did was we looked at the how we can approach this person, and in the first, like with the first message that we're sending them, our job is to only get a response. We never pitch, right? So many people have this wrong. They send all these crazy ass long messages. Nobody cares, right? So your job in the first message is just to get them indoor. So how you can do it? Well, think about it this way. If somebody is a fitness coach, what kind of message can you send them that's going to get them wanting to answer? Obviously, you could, put on the jacket and pretend that you're a potential client for them. How does that sound, right? So this is the thing that we went hardcore in, but not in a bad way. So you have to always think about a balance. You cannot just be hitting up saying, hey, I want your services, right? That's horrible. They're just going to block you. So your job is to be really intellectual here, find how you can slide in their DMs looking like you want to be their client, but at the same time, don't take it too far so you can step back and pitch them at some point. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was pictured like this like 2 days ago, so that makes sense. So just think about what should your client who is seeing those messages, why he should answer. JJ, you told that the system got till the 500 freelancers. Maybe you can share something. What systems is made, because like lead 500 people, you should have some systems there.
So basically, it looked like in Mafia, there's from Grandfather, there's like a monarchy of
Godfather.
levels.
Grandfather.
Yes, Godfather. Godfather, my mistake. So that happened actually in 2019. It was slightly different approach. You probably know what is the offer. Choose any 3 pieces, 3 any jewelry pieces, and pay only for the shipping. So that was the offer we pushed out to the world. First of all, the offer needs to be nailed down. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to actually scale the prospecting team. But essentially, we hired. So a lot of people are thinking that you have to, for example, hire for prospecting VAs, which is correct, but it's kind of wrong. Because for VAs, you have to usually pay salaries and etc. So you have that attachment on your shoulders. What we did instead, we used our leadership and some other traits to actually sell the vision and get people from third countries actually on the percentage. So for example, the people reach out to the people, potential clients, once the sale is made, then only they receive the commissions itself. So you have to be really creative when you are scaling. And you have to understand one thing. What is the system? System is an input, process, output, and a feedback. And once you get to the feedback, you receive the result. Either the input was positive net or negative net. And then you just simply repeat and scale the system itself. So that's broadly, but I'm going to dive deeper on this actually a little bit later on too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the same as the marketing is just a testing, the same for this one. You just get the feedback loops and you all the time get better and better. Okay, how Yanis, what maybe we can talk about how does a client acquisition team look like today? How we see it today, because we have added this acquisition part, and maybe we can just put out what exact should be for your brand. And one interesting thing what JJ told, it should be always put it with some numbers on. So if you have some hirings, you should put some numbers on the other side, so you don't take too much experts who you are just paying the salary, but their salary is somehow
Incentive based.
yeah, it depends from the
Incentive-based.
result they made. Yeah. So maybe Yanis, we can
Yeah,
give
definitely.
yeah, some from the ads team, and then let's add from your side about acquisition. How would the perfect team look like?
Well, yeah, it starts from the leader. I guess you need one leader that leads the whole team. Then basically that manages the performance of others. That's one person. Then the second person is probably just the copywriter for your e-commerce team. The only thing that he does is writes copy, because for e-commerce stores, especially if you're making 50K plus and you want to get to 100K and more in a month, right? Then you need to be able to test multiple ad variations every week, and for that you need to create multiple ad copies a week that are being tested. So that's that one. Then there's the script writer. The ad copy, usually the ad copy guy will graduate to a script writer, because the script writer is giving the task to the videographer to film the videos. So that's basically two people. Another one is a script writer. Then the third one is content guy that is just creating pictures, filming videos. Fourth one is do you think offer guy is needed at that point? Like Arthur's, for example, he focuses on the pure content.
Actually, I think that should be for the leader. He must understand what kind of the offers and how to sell them, because so that should be his responsibility, I think.
Okay, yeah. Then let's say leader as well. Then media buyer. Definitely, you cannot do anything without the media buyer that just handles only paid media, Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads. Only thing that he does is breeds data, sleeps data, and while he dreams, he also launches some ads and plans about launching them. Then there's email marketing person, at least one who is responsible for creating the sequences, the flows for email. That's another one. Obviously, conversion rate specialist that is making sure that your website is always optimized. So what we're at already 6 people. So
Yeah,
that's minimum.
there's editor, there's graphic designer, so it's around 7 people.
And
from
and this part, sorry, there's the content side of the part. That's actually one of the hardest things, because when you grow, you need to create more content, and more content equals more editors. So one editor can maybe create, let's say, 2 to 3 videos a day, but maybe you're at a pace where you need to launch 20 ads a day. So you need 2-3 editors. So your content team grows, your website optimization team grows, everything grows. So basically, you end up at least at 12 people in your e-commerce team that are making sure that you're delivering the client acquisition or that part in online, like advertising.
Okay, nice. And from acquisition team, guys, what should be there?
JJ or Ralph, that's you guys.
All right. So what else should be on that side? I would say for prospecting team itself, there should be a main manager, because once you start scaling up, there should be a person who is accountable with the numbers about the team itself. Then the same person should be also accountable about being the leader who is selling the vision. So that's one. I would describe it as a manager. The same also, again, copywriter. What else comes in my mind? Ralphs, maybe you can go on this a little bit more.
I had a little bit of glitch at the last seconds. Can you just repeat the question, please?
How
What
does
should be
acquisition team look like?
How does our acquisition team look like?
Like, yeah, how it should look like
for the
for,
brand,
let's
for the
say,
brands? Yeah,
for the
how it
brand?
should.
Yeah.
What should they have to run proper
Okay.
acquisition and online the sales? What we told.
Right. Are you asking specifically for the manual prospecting side of things? Like what should be
Yeah.
done for this chain to exist?
No,
Right.
from the roles, from the person roles. What should be what is the roles in this case? What people need to be there to run it?
Right. Got it. So there are two steps. The first step is somebody who is in the chat trying to get somebody to the next person. The next person is called discovery call person. So once somebody goes on the discovery call, so essentially we look at it this way. It's a two-step funnel. The process is to go from chat to phone call to Zoom call. All right. So
Yeah, but how many people do you need to operate like this? It's there's probably a person that creates the copy, then the person who sends the copy or the texts, and the third person is it a person who does the bookings?
The third person who is taking discovery calls, and then the last one who takes actually the sales calls. Because eventually, yes, 4 people.
Yeah.
That's the beginning.
A quick thing, 2 people on kind of discovering what kind of specific industry are going to be going after, right? So for example, if it's a fitness, then we have 2 guys who are going to be making the scripts, doing analysis, doing a lot of split testing. So typically the sky is the limit. The more consultation calls we schedule, the more infrastructure you need to build out. But essentially you need 5 unique people in this food chain to exist.
And essentially, really, really important thing that every team must have. We are called hacker, a person who is looking at the whole game, again, at the whole system, analyzing, finding new options, how to find people, where to find people, and etc. Because once we start implementing, and this is what we have seen multiple times happening, we implement the system and the market just copies it. And then boom, once one person, one brand has copied it, it spreads over. So we have to be always one step ahead. So the growth hacker keeps the hand on the pulse of the game.
So we're totally looking at 20 plus people, like for e-commerce stores to have this in house. Like for manual outbound, for advertising team, it's 20 plus people.
If somebody is like, sometimes people are coming. So you are doing it on your alone. Yeah, you are doing all your agency on your own. And then I just tell, no, we have 25 plus people. And then they are, wow, okay, that sounds serious. So yeah, I would say for the internal team, I would see something like 10 people here. I would say it's not like 20, because the roles can be combined, but still it's like from 7 till 10 different people to run and scale this one. And plus you need to get some, I would say,
actually we forgot one person, social media guy, or social media person who's posting the social images, videos on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook separately. So that's not even like in e-commerce. So there's another one. Sorry to interrupt you, but
yeah, when people sometimes pitch to the marketing director something, and they tell about some new things what those marketing directors hasn't been done. Remember, please, those guys that doesn't have time to do all those things. They're doing what they know, and they're trying to scale that. I had the same experience. I was building the first brand I was building. We was 2 or 3 people in the team, and there always the freelancers, and it was a terrible, because that's why you need to get some kind of the partner who helps you with understanding what roles you need, what roles of the people you need. And so, in the start they will push you in there, they will make you some money, and in the long term you can make it on board in your house, and yeah, that will make you money. But I think the first step always is you need to test with some freelance, you need to test with some agencies, is it working or not working. I think that's the best way how to start it.
But talk a little bit more, because this is very interesting. Like, to get to that point, to have this like realization, what you need actually to do is you need to go in by yourself everywhere to figure out what are the things that, like, how many components exist in this food chain. Or of course you can enroll with some coaches or mentors, but that's not everybody can afford that. For example, what we did is we just did everything ourselves until we figured like how many different elements exist there. So it's almost like, think of it this way: is everybody has at some point probably played GTA San Andreas. You're the character walking in the world, but you only can walk in a space where you have already been. So the outside map doesn't exist yet. So the more you walk, the more you see, grows your perspective, more failures, more experiences, the more different things you realize, and kind of like have these, okay, so we need this and that. At the beginning, it's just me and JJ just bombarding all over the place, right? Now there's 10 plus people. So it depends, right? Your operations start with yourself. And I think it's the best thing, because if you're not ready to get your ass in a game, get your skin in the game, how they say, then you're not going to be able to put this together, my friend. So everybody needs a great team, but to understand what exactly you need to try it, basically, the operations.
Yeah, we had yesterday a conversation with one of our clients, and he told, it's really bad that my team is coming and asking you to help what to do, and they are not telling what to do to you. And I was telling, it's not the problem, it's the reality, what all the clients is happening. That's a moment why you can choose the teams like us, where we can really give you exact next steps you should do. And then there is question, how big is your ego? So you will do that thing or you will not do the thing.
Yeah. One of his things was because I think one of the core reasons why he kind of said that is because he didn't really, I think he didn't understand the whole knowledge what we do. Because when we give something to the client that needs to be done, let's say it can be an ad task, create this ad that we needed. But before we give it to the client, we have already tested it for another client, put some thousands of euros behind it, tested it worked. So okay, we give it to another one, like a similar angle, and they create it. But a lot of times people question this: what is this? Why should I actually create it? Why should I let them tell me what to do? And that's ego, like you said. And for him, it was definitely, he didn't understood that we have this baggage of clients, that we test a lot of things behind us and give the tasks to them. And
okay, so the first important thing is operation systems. Or you run it yourself, or you're taking somebody, but you have someone who knows what to do and where to go. Guys, is there something else you want to add up under the system? Because we are only on the first thing and it's already 30 minutes, so we need to go through three other two.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, it's okay.
I think we have combined, we have touched upon multiple things already. There are a bunch of those other, but okay, let's jump to another one.
Next thing is the sales channels. We talked there should be minimum 2 sales channels, organic and ads. Let's go deeper in this, because people always think, I have seen there is approach, we have only organic sales or we have only ads, but we need to combine those systems. So let's talk about this topic, because I have seen so many when I see some organic content coming out and it's like hot, and I see you just need to put this in the ads and you will make tons of money, but people are not doing this business. And let's talk about how to put those channels together. Who wants to continue?
So quick thing here is just to mention, maybe open eyes, or sometimes we don't need new knowledge, we just need to remind, we need to spank ourselves. So you just cannot rely really on one channel, which is, for example, organic traffic, and not turn on the advertisement, what just Gustav's GG just described. You have to have both if you want to acquire new customers and decrease your paid advertisement costs also. Because here's a quick practice actually you could try. We have seen this also happening, is that if you don't post, for example, right now, the organic traffic, then try to focus on that. start posting a lot of organic traffic itself and see what happens actually with the advertisement costs. Are they going down or they are not going down? But most likely, if the content is targeted towards the same audience as the ads, your advertisement cost itself should decrease by a lot.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Ralph, maybe you want to add something here.
Yeah, so I think that if you like when you're saying organic content, organic traffic, with organic traffic, think about it this way: you can, for example, you can leverage manual prospecting really in a great way to create a lot of traction around any social channel you have, right? Like when we're doing these inputs, which are like 10,000 messages per day that are going out to targeted people on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever, which is the manual prospecting. What we're doing is we're training our people to send it to very, very targeted and specific group of people. So what ends up happening is we create a huge momentum, which then can be leveraged for your organic content to then, people not necessarily always will take action, but they'll follow, they'll start to engage with your page. So I think there is merit to having both. Our focus is purely on how we can acquire clients using manual prospecting. But what if you think of it on it from another standpoint, then we always grow momentum for any business that we work with, because there are hundreds of new followers coming in every single week, so that could be easily leveraged to whatever you want.
Yeah, so that's, I think, the main thing. You should have at least two, because things can change and you can lose some of the channels. And from other side, what JJ told, you will get a smaller cost per ads and per everything else if you will run that all together. Organic posting and doing all in organic, manual prospecting, ads, and content in worldwide level. This will help you grow. Good. I wanted to tell one word which shouldn't be done in their lives, but maybe one day we can start to work with those words too. Okay, so the sales channels. Think about how much sales channels you have. The first one was the system. So you have an exact system. Every employee, every freelancer knows what is his results exact in numbers and how he can achieve more. What is this third or fourth thing? Let's talk about optimization. I think that's the next one. How to optimize all those activities, because we talked already that it should be done, but how to do that?
For example, for prospecting, I can just say very easily that there has to be a very, very robust spreadsheeting going on of some kind, because if we're measuring how many messages we send per day, next measurement is how many people respond to that message, right? Then we can go out from that and see what's working and what's not working. And this is how me and JJ basically got to the point where we are, was crazy optimization. Like, you have to fall in love with the idea of looking at these numbers and seeing why are you sucking. Otherwise, it will not grow. You cannot grow if you don't optimize the number one thing in this process.
Yanis, maybe you can add something about ad part, because I think, yeah.
Oh, Nance. Okay. Let's talk, for example, Meta. The optimization now really happens. Before, it used to happen on Meta platforms, like on Facebook platform. You were able to see which ad is generating you sales and so forth, like clicks, sales, add to carts, all that stuff. Now what happens is the optimization part is actually you look at two numbers in our ads. Is the CTR, is the click-through rate above the target that we want to achieve? Or usually CTR percentage is about 2% that we want to hit. For us, for people to go to the website to have a low cost of entry. And the next step, or the next number we are looking at, is amount spent on the ad now. Before, we used to look how much purchases does the ad is getting. Now we're looking if the ad is actually spending, and if we are launching 5 ads in one batch of let's say angle, then out of those 5, 3 will be okay and 3 will be spending. So it means that the other 2 are not working, are not really connecting to the person. So Meta platform, Google platform, YouTube platform, TikTok platform, it doesn't matter. They always think about what's the experience for the end customer. So we actually optimize for the customer experience. CTR actually means if the person liked the ad and clicked forward to the website, and the amount spent is telling us, okay, Meta is actually liking this ad, and they feel that customers are engaging very good for this particular ad. So we keep pushing the spend to it. So those are the 2 numbers that we really look at. And then on the back end of is this achieving us sales? Then we look at what did we do? We also like similar like you guys. You told them prospecting system. We mentioned the things that we did that day in the spreadsheet. How many ads did we launch? What angle did we launch? And then we look at the next day's numbers of sales and see if it's an increase or decrease, and then cut out losers or scale the winners in our ads, and see again decrease, increase, and just simple things actually. And again, ego. What Gustav's mentioned is you don't need to have this ROAS for your Facebook. You don't need to look at what is your Facebook ROAS. You don't need to look at what is your Google ROAS. You need to look at what is your combined ROAS for all the marketing channels, and what is the average amount of cost per customer acquired. That's what we look at.
So top sales revenue, all activities, what has been done in that day, and then you understand what works and what doesn't work, because people always want to find this one ad or this one prospecting was responsible for sales. But in the end of the day, all those clicks, all those connections, all those pictures combined together, and you can see which combination is working for you the best. So yeah, drop some ego. Don't look at the numbers in the Facebook or Meta Business Manager like ROAS or something. Look on those data which is proper. So they from all these cookie policies, they can see only 2 numbers which is right, and that's the click-through rate and how much cost this link click. That's all what they can show you. But
exactly.
in bigger picture, don't look at the numbers like how much is that to cards or things like that. You should watch that on the business side and see the top line revenue. From optimization part,
bookkeeping doesn't care about your ROAS. Like they only care about what's your top line revenue, how much you have spent to operate. So that's at the end of the day, that's the only thing that you should look at. Continue, please, Gustav.
Yeah, JJ Ralph, maybe you can add something to optimization, or let's jump on marketing materials.
Yeah, so what I could add for optimization itself, I would look at the bigger scope itself, which is the team, because we have all these ideas, we have the chaos. Once we start scaling, we start entering the world of chaos, where a lot of things get messed, over-communicated, and etc. So it's really important to bring all these visions, where we are going, all these tasks that people also are performing into one place. For example, the same prospecting system, the same advertising system into, for example, a Miro board, Miro.com. You can use that. There's a lot of free templates that you can use for your team to actually have everything in front of your eyes. Because what a lot of people are doing as a mistake is they have all these ideas. They kind of know their numbers, but once we are asking for example, a question, hey, show me the exact numbers on Tuesday, for example, or show me the exact vision or roadmap where you are going. And they are like, hey, I don't know the answer. So that's the problem. That's why it should be always in front of them in one place, ideally, where they are able to oversee their business. Me as a 12-year-old kid, I just entered the Google Doc or Miro, and I can understand clearly everything about the business.
I
Yeah,
want to
I
add
would say.
just one more thing. So if you're planning to try prospecting, or if you really want to go hard on it, what you need to understand is that the profiles that are going to be reaching out to these potential clients matter a lot. So there is a term called the profile funnel. Basically, what you need to do is you need to actually have some sort of content related with the industry you're going after. Okay, so what can it be? For example, if it's fitness, then I want to make sure I have consistent stories, consistent Instagram posts about similar kind of people that I've been working with, or some fitness related stuff, because these people will check your page, and more often or not, that's going to be the deal breaker of your response rate. So you want to make sure that you are optimizing your profiles for the people that are going to be reaching out. Okay, so for example, the most popular thing is going on virtual assistants, as we spoke before, but not on like the salary side of things, but it can also be performance based. So if you're going to be looking into like Asian marketplace to find your VAs or freelancers or team members, what you want to do is you want to make sure that those people are creating new accounts that they're going to be reaching out from. Okay, so that's just a very, very useful tip, is always think about how the account looks, and there has to be content that's absolutely related with the industry you're going to be going after.
Mhm.
And
That's
also, one quick thing that I didn't mention and I think could be valuable. My internet, by the way, lagged. I hope everyone can hear me. All
Okay,
good?
now. Yeah.
All right. So we oftentimes, we are the businessmen, we are the entrepreneurs, we're the cool guys, and what we do is when the word optimization comes out, what we think is the business, the operations, the landing page, the ads and prospecting. But what can really drastically improve the effectiveness of your team in the performance itself is also optimizing your team, which is tracking itself individually. For example, actually tracking their skills, that's how they're growing as a person. Maybe they need a new course for this specific problem, for this specific thing that you're building. So always keep in mind that optimization isn't just all about the business operations, which is the VSL page, the Facebook, and etc. But
Of course.
it's also people.
Correct.
Artificial.
And that's actually one good thing that we really try to implement as well. If there's something that we don't know, or there's a small thing, for example, one person knows about it more than the other one, and we actually need it to do that stuff. We provided content for him, explain how we think, and then he acquires that knowledge so he can use it, and he comes, like as you said, he becomes better optimized to other things that he does. And that's actually, and you can only do that if you map out your activities. Still, you look at what have you done your previous day, and how far did it well, what did we crush, or what kind of goals did we achieve? It's
Yeah.
simple for ads. For example, we launched 8 ads. Okay, did it get us sales? What did we do to get those eight ads? How many hours did we put in? What did we actually do? What's the number that we want to achieve? And then we look at and try to optimize it. But yeah, you're spot on that.
Yeah, I like that mindset, how to 10x everything. And that's how you need to work with your team. You need to always think, okay, ask the team, hey, let's 10x that. How would you do that? And it's not like the task for them, but they will start to think it as a systems, not as just what all is done on my side. And we really don't love this MacGyver thing when you come to some team and there's like 4 MacGyvers working who can do everything everywhere and all they can do. And I think the most important takeaways here is just split those tasks, split those professionals, so everyone has experience in some of the field. And if you need to change something, if you need to upgrade, just take it as professionals, understand how they do that, and then maybe try to implement that for yourself. we have some clients who has tried to do that. It doesn't work from the first time, but in the long run it could work, and you still want to be there, but you should have a lot of money to hire the best guys in the field, I think. Okay, I have a favorite saying that all the things in the world has been already solved, but there's one thing what hasn't been solved, and that's the sales process, and how to get more sales and how to grow it. So I hope we can give some value with our content and with what we talk today, so you can still believe that you can achieve this grow part, growth, I would say. Yeah, maybe guys, I will add about the content in the end, but let's make some maybe key takeaways, key things what we had from this, and then I will finish with the content, and then we can maybe get in this 1 hour total in lifetime.
Okay,
Cool stuff. Okay.
All right, one thing I can say is that about prospecting itself, if you want to get started on that, remember this one thing: there are so many people already doing it, and then that might seem like it's very old school way of doing things, but what 99% of them are doing it is wrong, because like most of the people that are doing prospecting, what they do is they pitch, consistent pitching. You need to find like a very soft frame, really low commitment conversation. Think about it in a sense of how can you get somebody interested in anything you do without telling them how cool it is, right? So you just ask questions, you see kind of like what got you here and where are you trying to go, and have this really like calm, low commitment conversation with somebody, and ask them, would you be against hopping on a quick phone call to see if we are a good fit, right? And you just talk about the certain things on a phone call, you qualify these people, you understand if they have the right budget. And obviously at that discovery call, which is a phone call, you want to make sure that you do your job to not only pitch, but to most importantly listen and understand what the person's needs are, where they're currently at, so that you can do the best job at helping them. And once that's done, go on a sales call, do your kung fu right there, all right? But the one takeaway is 99% of people are doing it wrong. So you have absolutely a lot of opportunities to exploit it and do it the right way without pitching, but just asking questions, essentially.
Agree.
Agree. Great.
This is in every field. 1%. Be the 1% that does things right.
Yeah, and there's also 2 takeaways I think can be applied for VSL pages, for prospecting, for advertising, for everything that is related to acquisition. Is first of all, the world is getting pretty overcomplicated, boys, especially the online world itself. So you have to keep it simple. And one of the ways how you can do that is really by communicating what the customer wants, not what you want them to hear, which is usually what happens. We think from our logical mind, hey, this makes sense, so I'm going to advertise this. So I'm going to put this. For example, on VSL pages, we're going to say how flashy we are, how cool we are. But at the end of the day, the customer doesn't land because of yourself there. It actually lands because they want to be heard. They are there because they also have ego, not just for our teams. So let's feed their egos. So the VSL page should be actually about them, about their problems, about their dream outcomes. You have to be the servant of the customer, and the customer gonna treat you as a king in the back end. So it's really important. That's the first. And the second one is you want to make the people feel make them feel understood instead of make them understand. It's again the same concept, but this little sentence has shifted everything. I think. Are you making them feel understood about their problems, about where they want to end up with the product, or you make them understand simply about the product? Hey, these are our benefits. This is exactly the same thing that everyone else is doing. Or you actually communicate their feelings. It's really important thing.
One sentence for this, what he just said: So, the Tai Lopez times are over. Your videos about you and how cool you are, nobody, like literally nobody cares anymore. So yeah, we are doing a lot of video sales funnels for almost every client we acquire. We build them out via the video sales letter funnel. So that's been over 100 high ticket video sales funnels at this point. And the one thing I can tell you for sure is you only introduce yourself around 30, like in the third minute or something like that. So what you do in the first 3 minutes is you hook them up with a story, create some emotions there, make sure that they feel like this is the things you're talking about hit their heart, and that you are creating enough pain for them to stick around. And then at some point, they really start to open up. They feel more comfortable. They know that you're talking about their stuff. So this is the place for them to be. That's when you introduce yourself. But, so many people I see have these Forex funnels or crypto funnels where they start to talk about all these crazy things they've done. Yeah, it used to work, but you have to ASAP shift away from that. Otherwise, you'll just be left, on the streets, essentially.
Here's another last thing, because I think we really love the word sales itself. But here's a philosophical mental framework you can apply for yourself, in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure we did this pretty successfully across all of us four together. Is sales is nice word, but it's not really about the selling. It's about making the decision, helping them to make the decision. And that's the framework, also mental framework you can apply for yourself. Instead of, for example, jumping on the sales calls or being on the same VSL page, instead of selling, you try to actually make them the decision itself for themselves.
Help them by helping themselves.
Yes, because people
help them by helping you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, my internet a little bit lagged, but essentially the people don't know what they want. You have to figure out what they want. You have to make them figure out what's the decision. So yeah.
I totally agree on all what you said, guys. That's the interesting world we are going in. There is not more Tai Lopez, and there will be always somebody who is richer and who has nicer cars. So let's win with the understanding what those clients need, not showing how good we are, and that's a great way to communicate. I think from that we can jump to the last topic. What was the marketing materials, and that what we was talking all this live was about how to find or how to get how to test till you understand what works, and that's what is the biggest responsibility for marketing guys in every team. You must understand what works and how to what works and what should be done more, and that's your part. And then after that, if you want to create many great marketing materials, use the creators, because we are right now in the creators world. There is no more marketers will win. The creators will win this game, and there's so much big and nice brands which is winning because they have the best creators in the field. So that's from the content side. That's only one thing I want to give away today. Use the creators to create it, but understand what they need to create. Make those scripts, make those scenarios for them, because they will not make you a good sales pitch. They will make you a good content, but not the sales. Maybe you want to add something, guys, about the content, so we can wrap this up.
Again,
split testing. I'll say one thing, JJ, you can take away. Split testing has been like the biggest thing, and obviously anybody who is doing marketing, they understand how important split testing is, whether that's for outbound or for any other advertising system. What really boils down is doing as much split testing as you possibly can, and this was what we got obsessed about together, and that's why we got to the point where we really started to see these huge amount of consultation calls, because we tried so many things. We understood what doesn't work, and only that way you can find the right route is by just putting in the skin in the game and trying many different openers, hooks for your ads, right? Testing different bodies, different call to actions, seeing how people, how your average watch time increases for the ad with a certain hook, etc., etc. Yeah, take away, JJ.
All right. So also a quick, simple is that simple scales, fancy fails, and they're gonna be one sentence that just gonna that is all head. You want to make them feel understood, not make them understand. The same should be also about the content. It's about them, not you. Put your ego away and go in the battlefield with a clear heart and try to actually genuinely help people, because there's so much fakeness in the world. But if you, because everyone is naked inside within ourselves at the end of the day, and if we just sit down when we are alone, and if we can take the camera right there on the spot when we are alone ourselves, like the content gonna be completely different. We're gonna actually speak what we think, and usually when we do so, we actually speak out some valuable things that actually people care about. Or for example, when you are one-on-one with your friend, naked, let's say, for example, for the example's sake, you are on different levels, so you should treat the social media, the content, in my opinion, the same.
This is JJ part when he drops something, when you need to listen it like for 3-4 times to understand what is told there. But this is really good thoughts. Thank you for that, JJ. Yanis, your final words, and I will cut this down.
Thank you very much. No, I meant like, I meant like, build a team. Without a team, you're nothing. And yeah, help the team to succeed. And if you help the team to succeed, it will help you to succeed. It's all that's all it really is.
Team is all what you got, guys. So take care of that. So if you need any partners who can help you scale, just book a call in our. There's everything is on the description. Find us, read about us. We will give you two presents in the description of the video: the supercharged meetings template and track your team's emotional state. This will be 2 presents from our side. If you need anything else for scaling your online sales, just drop us the message and let us know how we can help. If you want from our side open some new topics or talk about something, just drop some comments. Of course, likes, subscribes, and bells that's from your side. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure to be on the stage with you. I hope we will have more and more and bigger stages, but you need to start somewhere, I think.
Yes, guys. Look, one quick thing. On this note, yeah, well, Christmas came early. Here are your early Christmas gifts. But Gustavs, what did we just do in Dubai? What happened? What went down in Dubai a few weeks ago?
Remind me, please. There was many things happening in once.
Conference? No, I'm talking about the unity, and a very interesting concept. A unity that is right now in development. So yeah, guys, you should definitely stay tuned for some very crazy announcements coming up in the next weeks, because eCOMHUB is being born. It's right now in the kitchen. We are having some awesome stuff coming out, basically uniting our brains, putting them together in a field. And yeah, so this will be a very exciting Q4 after rolling out. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Some surprises coming out, so just tune in and you will see that. Thank you one more time, guys. It was a pleasure to see you. This is one international live because we have guy from Jakarta, guy from Dubai, and guys from Riga. And so let's, yeah, that's the interesting world we are living right now, that we can all sit in one room. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope it was useful. Share your feelings about this live. I will be happy to see that. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.